Hi, my name is Brayden, and I go by K3DW on the Twisty Puzzles forum. If you've made it this far, you're probably already aware of the Puzzle Advent Calendar, but if you aren't, here's a brief explanation. The Puzzle Advent Calendar is a yearly collaboration between some of the best puzzle creators and YouTubers, featuring 24 unique puzzles in daily videos throughout the month of December across many different YouTube channels. As always, I'm honored to be included in this group. Please check out the full playlist in the description as well as the Instagram account. Please also subscribe to Proxy Puzzles to be notified of his video when it's released tomorrow. That will be the last one in this year's series, the 5th year, and you won't want to miss it. His channel is also linked. One more thing before I get on with it. This year we actually have an interest form for next year, for 2024. If you want to participate in this project in the future, please fill it out. If you are a video maker, a puzzle designer, or both, you might be interested in doing this. So if you are, please let us know. I'm sure we would be happy to have you. So, what's my video about? This is the 23rd day. I want to talk about a book to start. This is the 59 Icosahedra by Donald Coxeter and others. So, what is it about? It's about taking an icosahedron and stellating it. If you're interested in stellations, there's a lot of good articles on it, and I probably can't do a good explanation. This book is a very good one, though, and there's a lot of good articles as well. Essentially, you end up with this quite complex figure of what the stellation diagram, I think is what it's called, of an icosahedron looks like. So when I bought this book a number of years ago, I was reading through it, and there's one particular stellation that caught my eye. I saw this one. On page 43 here, I saw this one. It's called capital E, lowercase f1, lowercase g1, and it has a vertex figure of 7, 9, 12. And I'm sure that tells you a lot about what this is. I'm just kidding. So I saw this shape here, and I thought, oh, look at that. Without even making any cuts in this shape, I don't have to cut through any of the faces, it looks like you could potentially turn. Like it looks like across that edge right there, and across here, there, that looks like you could turn there. It looks like it's all coplanar. Is it actually coplanar? And so I decided to draw it up in SolidWorks, and I found actually that it is coplanar. And you end up with this right here. So I'm calling this puzzle the Excavated dodecahedron. Sorry, no, I'm calling this puzzle the Excavated crystal because the solid that it's made from is the Excavated dodecahedron. So it's one of the stellations of the icosahedron. Okay, what is this puzzle? How does it work? Well, let me show you how it turns. I'll start with the yellow face. Turns just like this. I'll show you from the side. That's what it looks like. I will be honest, the turning leaves something to be desired, and that's because the edges are so wiggly. Why are the edges wiggly? Well, if you're familiar with Twisty Puzzles, you might already see what this puzzle is a shape mod of. This is a shape mod of the Pyraminx crystal. These two are exactly the same puzzle mechanically, but this puzzle shows its corners, and this puzzle does not show its corners. You can see the corners right in here. You shouldn't be able to see them, but the edges are so wobbly. Now the thing is, the edges are also wobbly on a regular Pyraminx crystal. If anyone who's watching this owns a Pyraminx crystal, you would know that the edges are very notoriously movable. And that's just because the cuts that create this edge are almost the same, they're almost parallel. And because they're almost parallel, this edge just has a lot of movement, and that's just how real-world objects work, with tolerances and movability and all that. So I don't know if there's much we could do about the turning on this puzzle. That said, I like how it looks. I think it's a really beautiful piece. I especially like the fact that what I did is cut on the edges of the actual solid itself. I didn't cut through any of the faces. So in that way, I kind of think of this puzzle as the natural geometry for the Pyraminx crystal edges only. In my mind, that's how I'm thinking about it. Others may disagree, and that's okay, but I enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, this is an edges-only Pyraminx crystal in its natural form, where I didn't have to cut through any of the faces. So I'll show a few more turns. See, stuff's getting caught. It's not the greatest. So I'll turn here. That's the white face. Then I'll turn the face that was the blue face quickly became mostly yellow. So is it the blue face anymore? Hard to say. Because it is a Pyraminx crystal, these edges are going to get scrambled very quickly. Because the edges can get turned by the two faces that it borders, but also the next two faces as well. So this pink and blue edge can be moved on these two faces right here, but also these two faces. So I'll turn this back before I scramble it any further. It was a little bit difficult to put together, and I don't want to need to take it apart to get it solved again. Now, if anyone here is even more familiar with twisty puzzles, you might also notice the resemblance between this puzzle and an Alexander's star. An Alexander's star is a very, very old puzzle as far as I know. I can't quite remember the history of it off the top of my head, but it is quite old. I think this one of mine that I have doesn't even have stickers on it. This is just paint. And it turns in a similar way, just like this. So this puzzle here is an edges-only Megaminx, equivalent to an edges-only Megaminx. And this one is an edges-only Pyraminx crystal. So they are very similar. I took inspiration from the Alexander's star, but as I said, I took the most inspiration by just looking at the solid and seeing, oh yeah, I can cut through the actual edges on this solid itself, on the excavated dodecahedron, and it turns. It turns into a puzzle. So yeah, that's my puzzle here. I don't think I have anything else that's too much more exciting about it. It is quite straightforward. It's just a shape mod of a Pyraminx crystal, but the external shape of it makes me quite happy. So I hope you enjoy this puzzle as much as I do. I don't necessarily see myself playing with this and scrambling it just because it is a pain to turn. Turning one face is fine, but turning multiple faces one after the other, things are going to get caught. But I will play with my Pyraminx crystal just in honor of this new puzzle. So again, please subscribe to Proxy Puzzles for his video tomorrow. That's going to be the last one in the series of this 5th year of the Advent calendar. So thank you all for watching if you have been. I really appreciate it. And goodbye.